And I'm going to go ahead and just pin Nakia and Shantel as well. But hello, family. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Just to kick off our November series, we're so excited to share all the impact and knowledge with you guys just within our community. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, you can hear all of our previous trainings on our YouTube channel. It is the Melanin of Monat. And then as well, this is where tonight's training is going to be posted as well. So again, if this is the first time that you guys are joining us, the BC Collective stands for the Black Creators Collective, and our mission is to spread awareness and representation, not only within Monat, but in the entire beauty industry. So the goal is to absolutely disrupt the industry. And we're already on our way there with the help of you all. So our IG, if you guys don't know, is the Melanin of Monat. And the fellow BC team members, they're going to drop their individual IGs in the chat as well. So give the main page a follow and stay tuned for all the goodness to come for the rest of the year. All right, let me go ahead and pin Nakia because the focus is there. Shantel, I am pinning you as well. Okay, perfect. So Nakia, girl, I'm gonna pass it off to you to kick us off. Just introduce who you are, your story, why you joined Monat, and then Shantel, you can follow up right after her, and then we'll get into the Q&A.
Hey, you guys, happy Wednesday. Happy first of the month. What's happening? Okay, so where do I start? I have been in Monat for 2 years. And I mean, let me back it up. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a third generation hairstylist who was pretty much born into the industry of hair. My great grandmother and grandmother were both professionals. So I've always had a hustle, and me becoming a hairstylist that just happened by trade. It was something that I've always known. And I happen to now be living in Los Angeles. I work in entertainment, and my upline who introduced me about the business is also, she's a celebrity makeup artist and hairstylist. So she approached me on a bad hair day, and she was like, "Look, I have something that you'll love." She's also Latina. So I was like, okay, she has a daughter who's mixed. And she was like, I have these products that I've been using and I would love for you to try them. And I told her, okay, fine. Gave her my card and told her to sign me up for whatever she had to do because I was busy at the time. She signed me up. I was a VIP. Loved the products from the first time I used the Renew shampoo. After that, I was VIP for a month before I started placing a couple more orders. And then she told me, I seen you've been ordering quite a bit. So I think you might as well just sign up as a market partner. You get you get all these other bonuses. And she told me all the perks and stuff. And then if I happen to want to share what I'm using with clients or friends that are hairstylists, then it'll be a whole nother like business venture, and I'll already be a market partner, so I wouldn't have to worry about maybe upgrading and doing all the things. And I was like, okay, well, I'll do it for the discount. So I upgrade my account in September 2021 so that I can get a better discount. Got the cheapest package. I think it was like $199 at the time, and still end up spending, ordering more things, trying out stuff as a hairstylist and a curly girl. Curly girl, a lot of us are product junkies. I get a lot of product from companies. They send them. They offer to pay me for reviews, and I'm also an educator, so I've educated with a couple different brands as well. Um, and so that's how I had my intro into the company. I wanted to take my time to teach myself, like practice with, work with the products, try everything out so I can be educated. I wanted to explore like all the good, the bad, the ugly. So I did my due diligence for 6 months, did not share or work the business. And after that, when people started asking me, what are you using for your curls? Because my hair was really blonde. And if you go down on my Instagram, you'll see I have like kinky curly blonde hair, and my curls was hydrated. It was the best thing. But one of the things that I found like in my community one of my upline was I didn't see that many people that look like me. So instantly in my head, I'm like, man, like it went from like, I don't know if I can do this to if I don't see it, then we need to create something just like this, like how everyone else is taking advantage of such an amazing opportunity and share. Like I felt so selfish for the first 6 months of not sharing the opportunity that I like was given and all that like in this business. And I just, but as a professional, as in hairstylists, we're very skeptical. And also being a woman of color, it's like when it comes to products, it's like they vegan products, do they work for us? Like, can I use, are they like safe for our kids and like all the things? Like, I've had all these different like things that I had to check out for myself and wanted to make sure that it would like slay, for me as a professional that has like my background. And also when it comes to like me, the clientele that I have, the type of people I service, and the backlash that I get when it comes to anything that I do. I just had to make sure everything was like I had to stand by this. I had to check the background so I could have my clap back ready if I needed, or just be educated. So those were that's my start.
Thank you. All right, Chantel, you want to share why you started with Monat?
Sure. So I too am a hairstylist, licensed cosmetologist, have been licensed for it will be 20 years next year. I was one of the stylists that was so skeptical of Monat. Like I heard of it years before I even tried it, signed up for it. I have been in the home business, um, just doing different things with different companies and doing everything I can. It almost seemed like I was doing everything I can not to inquire about Monat. But I, what's funny is I'm doing the doom scrolling on Instagram like everyone else does. And I came across another hairstylist that was already with the company. And I was just like, there's hairstylists with this company? Because for all I know, it was another home business type company. So I fall down the hairstylist Monat rabbit hole and I'm seeing all these hairstylists. And then I'm starting to come across hairstylists that look like me. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, we might have something here. So even after that, I kept looking and kept scrolling, and it got to a point where I'm in the search bar like Black people Monat, Black stylist Monat, Black people who use Monat. Like I'm literally just trying to find every like, because at this point I'm like, I need, if this is going to be something that I look into, I need the people to look like me. My clients for the most part look like me. The people in my family look like me. I need this to be something that's just not for everyone else and we just happen to use it. So I, of course, like Nakia said, did my due diligence. I sat back, I researched, I wanted to see the good, bad, and the ugly of it all. And it was when I discovered the Melanin of Monat Instagram that I was just like, okay, yep, I'm gonna look into this. Like I'm gonna actually reach out. I'm gonna see what's going on. I want to see. I want to get in because this is the first time that I've seen a multitude of people that look like me, and it's not just women; it's men too. And I think that's what really was like, okay, like we might have something here. Let me figure out who's behind this page. Let me link up with them. Let me see what I can like find out, because still in all of my curiosity, I was skeptical. I use professional products and I've been educated by several brands, and I did the fashion weeks, and with fashion weeks they have their own brands that they partner up with that are professional brands. So it's like I'm doing all the things in the industry And now I want to do something that seems like the industry is against. So I need to make sure it's worth it. So I reached out to Ashley. I talked to Ashley about it. She was like, girl, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love these products. You're gonna fall in love. And I'm just like, okay, I'm curious. Like, I'll try it. And when I tell you, for me personally, because I believe in being a product of the product, I was just like, there's nothing on the market right now that has done for me what these products have done for me. Hair, skin. I haven't tried wellness yet, but I'm pretty sure, like, at this point, I'm 2 for 3. So, hey, 3 out of 3 won't be bad. But I honestly, yeah. So it was working for me, and I decided to start using it on some of my clients. And they were just like, I don't know what you did to my hair this time, but the shine is amazing. Like, all they kept saying is the shine is amazing, the shine is amazing. And I'm like, well, I switched up your products. And they're like, oh, okay. So we get to talking about the products, and it's just like, that you can't deny it. Like, you don't know what you don't know. And now that I know, it's like, okay, like, the professional products are cool, but this is way better. So that's how I got started.
I love that. Thank you. Before we get into the Q&A, Nakia or you, Shantel, do you have anything else you want to share? We did get 4 responses on the poll from our stories, but everybody that's here live, feel free to write it in the chat, and I'll go through and read the questions off. But anything you want to share before we get into the Q&A?
Yes. I would say to, like, for one, if you don't see something, then create it. Just as we did, I know my first Monations was St. Louis, and I made an effort to say something to everyone that looked like me. And just from there, it just created such a great community of people who were all like feeling and needing and wanting the same things, And within this business alone, we have so many different things, whether it's incentives or information or just support, to where the sky is literally the limit. And we have so much power to, like, create so much with this business. We have, I want to say it's one woman of color who's in the MDC with Monat, and she got there with no hair. She's growing her hair out now, but that was also something that, like, really spoke to me. I'm like, wow, like, this could be generational wealth. It can be so much more than a side hustle. As a professional, just finding all the products under one roof that you can also get compensated for, it's insane. I come from a Paul Mitchell background, and y'all, it's just like, I think a lot of things come from, like, ancestral, like, trauma or whatever, or just like mindset things where, and I'm speaking for myself and my background history, it's like, not feeling enough, or not feeling like it can be you, or no one else that looks like you have done it in the way that you want to do it. And just seeing how many different types of ways that people who become my friends have done it in this business, just showing up and being consistent, is transformational. So I just want to challenge, if you guys are already with the business, and I don't care if you've been here 5 years or as long as it's been, just don't give up and keep on being consistent, even if it's something small. Like, okay, I don't know if you want to go live every day, or if you want to just talk to one new person about the business. Like, just imagine, I started thinking of it this way, like, how can I not give this opportunity of, like, something that can change someone else's life? Like, it might not be that for me, or I might be complacent in where I am, But how can I not share this with someone else who can possibly be the next like Julie Stevens or Krista Harney is like one of my uplines who's always sharing how she used to live in a trailer and did all these other things. And we have so much in common besides she's white, I'm a black woman. Like I haven't been on food stamps, I haven't been, every just the mentality of like going to the store, swiping your card, and then being like, oh my God, I hope this go through. I hope this go through. Or even if it's like, I'm gonna go to the gas station and I know they gonna take $1 out of my card. So I'm gonna fill it up real quick until I figure out the next hustle. Like this could be an opportunity of a lifetime if you let it. And so just eliminating those rejections that we tell ourselves constantly, just eliminate it or just change that mindset to like not if someone signs up under me or if someone comes to when they come or if this person ain't listening to you right now or they're like no never, just think of how many millionaires in this company have been like I will never do this and anti-MLM and just bashing the company, and they've like flipped the script and they're doing exactly what they said they wouldn't do, and they're like changing other lives too. So just seeing that and knowing that you have support regardless of who you signed up under or what the circumstances are in your life right now, just knowing that you have that support and you got people here that's going to push you and not just let you give up on yourself, because it's 2023 and we got life to be lived. And whether or not you guys have kids or not, or whatever the situation, like we got curses to break and we got work to do. So let's do it.
I love that. And I just put in the chat too, just congrats and shout out to you because you earned your Cadillac already. So before we get into the Q&A, if you just want to share any tips, like how did you get your Cadillac? With being a hairstylist, did that help you? Just all the tea.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so where do I start with this Cadillac here? Because that was one of the things I was like, I do not want a Cadillac, and this is like I was gonna help my upline get her caddy if that's the car she wanted, and I was like, it's nice and all that. One thing that's important is always like it's a team effort in this business, and some of my girls at that time when I was running had helped me out in a way, and that's like mapping everything out. And when you write something down, I'll tell you guys how powerful this is, because if I go back to beauty school, I literally wrote down people that I wanted to work with and things I wanted to do, forgot about it, life happened. And I had one of my mentors from that school send me my vision board or the stuff that I wrote down, and I'm doing all but one thing that I wanted to do on that list. And even in this business, when I wrote down, I'm going to hit MM and I'm going to go to Cancun. You write it down, map it out, literally down to, I don't care if it's, sorry, let me block this phone. I don't care if it's like, I need within my team to get 2 people to hit MMP, right? You get those 2 people and you break it down. How many products of the month they need, or whatever it is, if you want to break it down by volume or whatever. And if you need help with that, we can help you. We broke it down like that. Like, okay, this girl needs to get this many orders of this price within her team, and this person needs that, and I need this. And the simplest way for us at the time was like, okay, we're going to do, if we sell 10 products of the month or whatever, then you can get this rank within your team. So that makes it so much more attainable. Like when I first looked and was like, okay, 30,000 in downline volume, this is impossible. To being like, it is possible. I'm like, I always change my impossible to I'm possible. And you break that 30,000 down to 10 people, 15 people, it becomes a lot less stressful. So that is one thing that helped us so much, to where next thing you know, we're like, oh my God, we're at 28,000. Let's go. And that's how we did it. Our team, we came together. But also, I also want to say, because I earned the car, and then I ended up having issues with my car, because that's another story which I've been sharing. But don't place value into something that doesn't mean anything to you personally because you feel like it means something outside, if that makes sense. Like, it's not about what everyone else is doing, what everyone else wants. Like, it's not about that, because those things are not sustainable. So if when I was running for the car, I was like, I knew I didn't want to get the car. Am I running for it because I want people outside to see? Like, the number one thing for me was representation. So that was the number one reason I even went to go and pick up my car, to show my people of color that we could do this too, and to celebrate that. And that was solely, I would say, that was the reason that I did get the car, and my car that I had it broke down. But one of the things that I told myself is that I don't want this car, and I'm gonna work towards, like, my goal that I had set prior to earning that was, I'm gonna have my Nate. I'm gonna earn my Range Rover, and they're gonna pay for it. And then with that being done, the amount of lives that I wanted to change was at least 7. Like, I wanted to have 4 girls in their Cadillacs that they love, if that's their dream car. I wanted to help some single mothers out, or mothers that husband does all the, that work. Like, I wanted to help I want to help people out. And so that's my goal. And I'm like, I'll map that out and visualize that life happening, because I want to impact, and it's more than just me at the end of the day. So
I love that. Thank you for sharing. All right, we're going to get into the Q&A. I'm going to read off these 4 questions, and then everyone here live, just type your questions in the chat and we will get to them. So first question, Shantel, if you want to start with it. Someone said, I have relaxed hair. How do I keep my ends moisturized and prevent them from going dry?
So the thing with relaxed hair is that in order to get it to the state where it's permanently straight, you're breaking down the bonds in your hair. In order to restore some of that moisture and to keep it that way, you definitely want to keep up with your treatments and your trims. I know that a lot of people think that the more oils that they put on their hair, the better off it is. Not necessarily true. You have to be careful about the oils that you do choose to put on your hair, only because some oils are meant to moisturize, and then other oils are sealants. So, for example, if you're using, let's say you have a treatment and then you want to follow it up with oil, and you use coconut oil. Well, coconut oil is going to seal in whatever the treatment has done. If you haven't done any treatments and you're just putting raw coconut oil, not mixing it with anything else, just coconut oil on your hair, is going to dry it out because you have not put moisture into your hair. So it's maintenance stuff. It's things like that. You want to make sure that you are using moisturizing shampoos and conditioners. You want to keep up with your moisture treatments. You don't want to go too far with the protein treatments, because that could have an adverse effect too. You want to make sure that the oils that you are using are moisturizing. And if you're going to use a sealant oil like a coconut oil, you're following, you're using moisture first, and then you're using your sealant afterwards. So
I love that. Thank you. Nakia, anything to piggyback off of that? I know Janika just asked a follow-up question. She said, when you say treatment, which Monat product treatment would you recommend?
So if you're looking for the moisture, I think it's advanced hydrating line. That's really good. They have, I believe they have a mask as well. If you are looking to restore your hair, let's say that you get relaxers, but you feel like your hair is damaged, I would use the damage mask first for a couple weeks, and then switch over to the hydrating mask. That will kind of help repair it first, and then keep up the repair with the moisture.
yes, and for relaxed hair, also our Rejuva beads is really good if you put it from mid shaft to end, in between. If you're wrapping your hair and all that, you can kind of put it in and then wrap it all up and have a little refresh session. Another favorite is the why it just leave my head. It's the anti-frizz smoothing treatment. It is amazing. If your hair is on the more finer side, then you can use the intense repair conditioner, which we have another piggyback off of product knowledge, which I love so much.
Yes, yes. Okay, perfect. Next question. This is from Christina in the chat. I don't have the best hair. It's very thin. I've been using the products for almost a month now. Yes, the products have helped, but I feel like I have to use the products for many months before I'm able to sell them, just because I'm not able to show results. Any suggestions on how to sell at this beginning phase without showing results?
Yes. Share our stories, share everyone's journey in this, and also keep taking pictures because that's one of the things that I wish I did more of. And then it's like, okay, do I got to damage my hair again so I can take pictures and keep track? But that's the best thing, having before and after pictures of everything. And it's never too late. So just keep showing and sharing your journey. And when you notice something, mention that whether you're on live or whatever. Just be like, oh, here's our updates, or have your wash days on your reels or whatever. And then kind of tap in that way.
So good. Then also too, just to add to that, remember every potential client that you have, they haven't used the products yet. So your story and your journey is actually, more relatable to them in that moment. So you definitely want to share that. And then of course, our IG page, the Melanin of Monat, you'll find all the before and afters that you need. So definitely use that page to send any before and afters. And if you don't see anything specifically, reach out to us or anybody else that with someone that kind of has that same texture you're kind of talking to. Okay, next question from Summer. Seeing as it's something you also felt in the beginning, how do you break down that wall of skepticism that is so prevalent in this community?
I can answer that. For me, it literally took, I want to say 3 months before I actually made a connection with Ashley or anyone to try to learn more about the company itself. But my skepticism ended when I started using the products for myself. Because, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. You can do all the research in the world. You can look at all the IG posts and all the product knowledge, but until you start to use it for yourself, until you get it in your hands and you get the feel of the products and you know how it feels on your hair and you know how it feels on your skin, you're really not going to be able to break that wall down. I mean, in my opinion, because that's what worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there are moments where, you'll have people that want to make you second guess, but again, the noise, the negativity is louder, unfortunately, but knowing the products for yourself and knowing the company for yourself is what's going to make a difference.
Definitely. And also for me as a professional, once I started going down the rabbit hole of like, is Monat good for African American hair? And checking like the good and the bad and looking at, all of a sudden you're on YouTube and there's like all these lawsuits going on and then digging and all that. Then I started checking myself. I'm like, okay, because I was adamant. I'm like, I'm gonna see these lawsuits through, and it didn't fall back onto Monat. Like I didn't get anything of them settling or them like in the wrong with anything. So then I'm like, well, while I'm over here, let me go check all this other stuff that I've been using. And also, I started using like the Yuka app and all these different things to check out these products I've been using. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned. Because obviously, as a professional, we knew Olaplex was going through their stuff that they're going through. Johnson and Johnson and everything they own, which is a lot. But just going through all those things, like I was a Diva Curl girl. I was using like all these other brands and all these other things. I was like, whoa. So that's another thing that you can use. And also, I'm pretty sure a lot of us other stylists who've been in this Monat world for some time, like we have like maybe easier rebuttals to help you guys with or whatever. And then I deal with that every time I open up my phone and I see something as someone trying to drag me because I'm doing Monat, and I'm like, I love educating them. And to be honest, I'm always offering them products. I'm like, I can send you some samples, or I'll send you some full size product. You don't even have to say nothing about it. Just let me know how let me know what you think about it on a personal level. I won't post it or anything. And I've actually did, like, I've sent to one person I sent it to, and they were like dragging me. And I was like, look, I'm gonna send you some product, and then maybe you'll understand why I'm very passionate about this company and the product and what we stand for and all that, because don't nobody got time for that.
I love that. Okay. Next question from the IG responses. What's your go-to product to tackle humidity when you have curly hair and straighten it?
Ooh. You want to go first?
I would say the smoothing line, because it has tactics, and then I would follow it up with our hairspray. We have a lot of good styling products. Like, we always like to
do.
The shampoos and the conditioners and the treatment. Do not sleep on the styling products, okay? Because that blow dry cream,
Yes.
that's the thing. Like, if you are looking for something that's going to keep your hair smooth and protected from the humidity, and you like to wear your hair blown out straight, the blow dry cream. But if you're a curly girly and you like to, let your hair air dry, the air dry cream.
Yeah.
So air dry cream, blow dry cream, as far as the styling products, and then that smoothing, I believe it's like the smoothing shampoo and conditioning treatment. Yeah. All of the above.
So I actually did a call with another hairstylist who, she has fine hair. She's a white woman, been in the industry for so long, and she put me up on game with the flexible hold gel. Like, you do your leave-in, you do your air dry, or your blowout cream, and then you put the gel, like, you just put it, rub it in your hands, and then put it on your hair before you blow dry. Baby, that will help. I tried that, and I was like, what? Because I wouldn't have I would have put it on my hair damp and then let it air dry. But someone try that and let me know how you like it, because it was everything for me.
Now I'm intrigued. Now I want to try it. Because when you think of gel, you think wet look or a lot
exactly.
So,
or a mousse, you're like, you're gonna put a mousse in and then you blow dry it. And that is why, like, it's such a win when it's just such a win with Monat, how diverse we are, because you take tips and tricks from other people of different types of textures and all that, and then you try, and it is literally like, it debunks all the things that we were taught. Another thing that I love, I don't know how many people love, like, the second day hair when we get our little press, our dry texture spray. You press your hair, curl it, do whatever you do, put that dry texture spray on it, and then, like, finger your hair through or whatever, and thank me later, because I don't know how many times I would do my hair the day before for the next day so that I can wear it and then it be bouncy and have, that lived in feel and not be too straight, but, like, have that texture to it. It is everything.
I love that. I want to just get off the call and wash my hair because I'm straightening it tomorrow. So I'll report back. Okay, next question. Are there products you use from other brands that you feel just work better than Monat?
No. I mean, I actually work for a corporate salon now, so I can't bring my Monat products to work. So now I'm back in that professional, like, I have to use the professional brands. And as a stylist, I will always have my professional favorites. But if I had a choice, I would be using Monat on everybody. But I don't want to get fired. Until I'm a Monat millionaire.
Period.
Amen.
Did you have anything you wanted to add, Nakia, to that?
No, I'm gonna stick by my products, and I've been rolling. I'm just fortunate enough to be able to, if someone does want me to use their products, then hey, I will use them. But I can't back it up.
I love that.
There's
And that's,
always that option. I'm not no pressure, but
I love
gotta
that.
use my
That's the
stuff.
question we have too. The last one here from the responses. So if anyone wants to type some more, I know we're coming up 8:40. But the last question here, have you ever been asked not to use Monat on a client?
No. And that's because I don't tell them what I'm using. It doesn't matter. Like, you're coming to me because I'm the professional. You're coming to me with trust. Like, I'm not going to use something on you that's going to damage your hair. Like, you're the walking billboard for me. So why would I do that to you? So it was one of those things where I just went on ahead and used it on a client to see, because I wanted to see how it would work on my clients. Like, I could fall in love with something. It's not that hard for me, but to see it on someone else. So yeah, I went on ahead and used it on my clients, did not tell them what I was using until they made a comment about how different their hair felt, how different it looked, the shine of it all. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, girl, like, I aligned myself with this company, is amazing, vegan products, like, and then that's when I would go down the line, just tell them everything about the company, and then at the end, oh, and by the way, they're Monat. They would just look at me like, what? So yeah, no, I never had anyone tell me not to use it because they didn't know what I was using until I already used it.
Perfect.
Nice.
Nakia, anything for you to add to, or?
No, because I come through with my products, and I haven't had anyone. I mean, just like Shantel said, you're having me do your hair, and you trust my expertise. You obviously, whether it's a referral or whatever, like, I'm obviously here for a reason. I know a little something about something, so they let me go, and I do what I do. Yeah.
Love that. Perfect. Okay. So I don't see any other questions in the chat. So I'm going to ask one that I think is important to touch on. I know we spoke about relaxed hair, but what would you say, I guess, for when it comes to natural hair and why us natural girlies should be using Monat products? Because I know a lot in our community, it's like, oh, let's put this avocado and this egg, in the hair. In the hair and all of that. And it's, that's what we grew up on, right? So natural hair by Monat.
Oh my God. And I can't shampoo my hair because shampoo makes my hair all the things. Thank God for Monat in our apple cider vinegar rinse, because the fact that it doesn't say shampoo, your natural girls that swear by co-washing or conditioning, they will not have to go through the whole build-up stuff. And that's the most important thing to me, is, as being a natural girl, having build-up. And oh my God, when you are trying a product and next thing you know, you're shampooing your hair, you're in the shower and you're wetting your hair, and you're just sitting there and you're like, okay, I've been sitting here for 5 minutes and my hair doesn't feel like it's getting wet. And it just feels like that strawy material and the water's not absorbing. That means our hair is overwhelmed with buildup. I have not found another product that treats our hair like how Monat treats your hair, all natural, ever, that has lasted longer than 6 months, because it's always this thing where you're going and you're using a product, and then when you hit that 6-month mark, it's like, now I gotta go switch out everything that I've been getting. And I have not, it's been 2 years, and I have not experienced that up until now. Like, not up until now, I haven't experienced that at all with Monat. So that was one of the most important things. And that's like something I share with all my curly girls, because when I share that shampoo experience, a lot of people do get it because they've been through that, when they then had to go switch because they felt like the shampoo wasn't working anymore, when in all actuality, it was buildup.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, last question. Roxanne put this in the chat. What is your response to that's some white people stuff for the products and the business?
I'm sorry. I'm cracking up because I literally just heard that the other day and I was like, okay. well, then I had to put my professional hat on, and I'm like, well, at one point in time, Rachon was white people stuff, or Mitchell was white people stuff. And what's crazy is they'll equate certain brands with white people, but one product from that brand will have them in a chokehold. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but Paul Mitchell has a tea tree shampoo that black beauty salons were in a chokehold, honey. Like they don't know nothing else about Paul Mitchell, but they tell you about tea. But that's white people stuff, right? So we really have to get out this mindset of white beauty versus black beauty. Like, yes, I understand they be having whole aisles and we'll only have shelves.
The corner,
Like, I
the
get
shelf
it,
at the bottom.
but that is not this. Like, the products here literally are amazing and work for everyone. And it's very rare that you find something that can work for everyone across the board, whether you have fine, thin hair or you have coarse, thick, curly hair. Like, I have not seen a before or after on anybody of any texture where I can't be like, oh, that was amazing. Like, that after looks amazing.
Right.
I mean, people are always going to feel like what they feel like. Just like we have beauty professionals in the industry that will sit up there and say, like, Monat is horrible. They tried to put color on their client. They used it and their hair started sparkling and burning and smoking. And I'm just like, now, no shampoo and conditioner did that. It was something else. Like, but I mean, the between the conditioning properties, the concentration of the products, just everything about this line doesn't scream white people stuff to me. It just works for everyone.
I agree. And then also I try to educate people that hair is texture. It's just like not everyone, not all type of groups have the same hair, like scalp and hair. Like we all have a scalp, just like everyone bleeds red. So at the end of the day, our scalp is what matters. Like the type of scalp health and care that we do will determine how healthy our hair will be. So when it comes to offering like a product type and all that, it's like not based on, oh, this my client, she's ethnic or whatever, and she has like coily hair. Okay. And my first question I asked her was, well, how's their scalp? Because I don't care if you black, white, yellow, your scalp is going to determine what products you need. And the technology behind our products are built to where once we take care of whatever's going on with your scalp, it's gonna help whatever is going on with the hair just heal automatically. So there's no just for white people or just for people that have silky hair or whatever, because I know some white people that have curly hair and they call it like unruly or kinky hair. And I know some black folks that got silky straight hair. And so that's like, it's not everywhere in all places, but it's just very inclusive for everyone. And that like when it comes to the skincare, when it comes to the health care, the health of the hair care and all that, even with dang, what was I gonna say? Even with our like wellness stuff, like I don't know how many people were talking about giving like melatonin to their kids and to themselves and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, melatonin out here killing folks. Our sleep drops, which is a product of the month, by the way. If you ain't tried them, I think everyone need to get them and encourage your team. Everyone get at least one and try it. Like I am very much, I've suffered from, why can't I think of the word where you can't sleep? I can't think of the word, but I have trouble sleeping or I'm like between, huh? Insomnia. There we go. It split my head, but I suffer from insomnia because I'm like always up and then I'm working or not working, and it just has been a struggle. This has been the only thing that I can sit there and take and not even know, like, you don't get drowsy and fall asleep. You calmly, peacefully fall asleep. And then when you wake up, you have energy and it's bomb. I had to get over the little aftertaste, but then I like it. So just that like perspective, like it's something for everybody. Kids, I had the product on my cats. I had Bengal cats. They had shampoo and a little deodorizing spray. It was amazing. The juniors line also for our babies with textured or kinky hair, afro texture, any texture. The junior line is enough because when I first started, I was using my Renew shampoo, super oil nourished for my daughter, and someone told me to try the kids line, and I was like, my baby's hair gets tangled and she's tender headed and all these things. And I tried it and I was like, wow. Okay, I was definitely impressed. No burning, none of that. Like, you don't even have to go to like what's the strongest and the most deep conditioner. It works for all babies, all kids. Extension, because that's another thing that a lot of people like in our community, we are investing all this money in our hair. Like, oh, and if you don't let them take your Cambodian hair because you know that costs a lot. Or what at them wigs and all the things. We spend a lot of money on that. If you get it colored, even more money. So we're gonna invest all that money into our extensions, but then we're gonna wash them with Pantene or Herbal Essence or something that's gonna dry them out and waste all that money. We can get all those multi-use. I don't know about y'all, but my tracks they last for some years. And so just as I'm investing the money into like my extensions and my wigs and stuff, I'm not just gonna put anything on them. And if it's gentle and people talk about it drying their, like we got micellar shampoo, which is amazing. Also, if anyone has scalp conditions like dermatitis or seborrhea or like all these different things, and we can't make claims, obviously, but I grew up and I like one of my specialties was scalp care. Like I would get clients that had um just all kind of scalp conditions, and I would love to like find the best product that I could put on their scalp, or they'd have to put medication on it overnight, come to the salon, and I have to like lift all the stuff off their scalp and all that. I've had clients with those conditions, and I'm using the product, and they're wowed at the fact that 5 days later they're not having like crusty, situations happening with their scalp. And this isn't medicated, and we're not. It's like not all these harsh chemicals and stuff that people are putting on their skin, and that's like your hair. That's it's the closest thing to your brain, so it's just something to think about too when it comes to those things. And someone said something about locks. Not trying to skip over no one else's question, but my husband has locks, and I've been exclusively using Monat products on him. I'll do the black shampoo, and I use the apple cider vinegar rinse for his for the lock for the rest of them. And sometimes I'll soak them in like warm water, and I'll put the rinse in, and I'll kind of like push the product through. And since we've been using Monat, we haven't had any issues with like the buildup on the locks or like those little lint things that come out of the middle of the locks and stuff, or like the buildup that we've had those issues. But since I've been using Monat, we haven't had none of those issues. So that's another thing.
I love that. That was the last question too, but Lily just asked another one to follow up. If a client uses medicated shampoos, do you tell them to discontinue when using Monat?
I would that I would tell them my opinion on what I do, but I also make my disclaimer about me not being a dermatologist, and I'm not responsible for anything. I can't make no claims, and nor does Monat make any claims when it comes to that. If it's someone that is trying to transition out of medicated shampoos or products and stuff because they haven't worked, then I offer my professional background and like in my personal experience with those issues of try this for 30 days or whatever, like on your own. If you want to wean yourself off or whatever, talk to your doctor about how to wean off of the product. But if you want to try something else for a certain amount of days or whatever, just take notes and take pictures and all that, and then you make a decision on what you want to do.
I love that. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. This call was so good and so knowledgeable. Again, it's going to be posted on our YouTube channel at the Melanin of Monat. We will post the link, and it's going to circle around all the chats tomorrow, and we'll post it on the stories as well. And then stay tuned for the rest of the series. We have November 9th next week with Jade Smith from corporate. She's going to give us all the mindset and all the tips for the end of the year. And it's the same exact Zoom link. So lock it in your calendar, same password, same link for all of these calls.